So next concept is business area. So let us go to the screen first, and then we'll understand about that. So from SAP Easy Access, use SIMG in the command field to go into display IMG screen. Now we run display IMG screen. From display IMG screen, we need to go into enterprise structure and then definition. Here we have financial accounting. In the same menu path, just below the company code creation, we have defined business area. And what is the T code for business area?
OX03.
OX03.
Okay. So go into this defined business area, click on IMG activity. So here we are going to create some business areas. So to create the business area, click on new entries and give the business area. So what shall we give this business area name? Hello.
Business area name Bangalore.
Triple G. Bangalore.
Triple okay. Next one.
Triple G to Hyderabad, as I said.
One more.
Chennai.
Chennai.
Okay. So tell me one more area, business area.
Vizag.
No.
Okay, so we have created 4 business areas. Okay, you're from which city?
City, I am in Bangalore.
Now in Bengaluru, no?
Oh.
Okay. So in Bengaluru, you tell me 3-4 names, like 3-4 area names.
Martali.
Okay.
Silk Board.
Okay.
And Kerala.
KR-Puram.
Yeah.
KR-Puram Triple G. You see, if I go back, in this section you create business area. Business area is an organizational unit with accounting that represents a separate area of operations or responsibilities in a business organization. So which area of operations it is? So whether that is a physical area or the geographical location, it can be anything.
Okay.
When defining a business area, you enter 4-character alphanumeric at the name of business area. In a client, you can set up several business areas to which the system can assign the postings made in all company codes defined in this client. To ensure consistency in document entry, you should give business areas the same name in all company codes. You can make all other specifications for business areas in financial accounting implementation guide. If necessary, create a business areas. So this is the basic understanding.
Yeah.
But you can create business areas based on branches or based on area of operations, like functions. Based on functions also you can create. Based on products we already have. So business area, one thing we can assign is as per the geographical locations and as per the functions or as per group of activities. So basically business area can be created as per geographical locations, the area of operations also, like the physical geographical locations, or else you see here we have already some SAP library under financial accounting. So here SAP library, we can go into SAP library and see if you want more explanation about that. So here if we see the organizational unit of external accounting that corresponds to a specific business segment or a area of responsibility. Like to a specific business segment we can also use this business area and also the area of responsibility in a company. Let it be any area, it can be based on the activities, it can be based on the geographical locations, it can be based on the group of people also, like branch or department. So moment in value entered in financial accounting are assigned to this business areas. Financial statements can be created for business areas for internal purpose, and moments in value entered in financial accounting are assigned to business areas. So here if you see the definition of business area, organizational unit is optional, and this is optional, no need of creating. There is no requirement, there is no necessity that we need to create, so that is under optional. It is not mandatory to create. So business area are used to external segment reporting over and above company codes based on the significant areas of operations of a company. That means this is created at client level, this is not created at company code level. That means we are not going to assign this business areas to company code directly. We are going to use this in the transaction, or else we can assign it in the cost centers. To define business areas, choose the following in customizing for the enterprise structure. This is the path. And if you have defined business areas, the transaction figures for the GL accounts are managed separately for internal evaluation purpose. You can therefore create internal financial statements for business areas. So this is what I have said. If you have defined business area, the transaction figures for the GL accounts are managed separately. That means the transaction figures, because it is created based on client, it is not created based on company code. We are not going to assign this business area to any company code, so directly we are going to use in the transactions. And because we are using it as per the transaction, we can produce the reports as per this GL accounts. You can therefore create internal financial statements for business areas. As per business areas also, we can create one internal financial statements. So if you want to create financial statements for business area, you must make sure that business area field is ready for input in all line items. So if you want to create business area field, like if you want to create the reports as per business areas, we need to select the business areas in all the line items, and that should be ready also. It should accept the input, the line item should accept the input for business areas. So to do this, proceed as follows. So this is where we can enable the business areas. And next, integration. So this is all about the business area, and this is already we are going to assign this business areas for cost center. So in that time we are going to integrate FI this cost center. You see here, to post an item in balance sheet, enter business area when you enter the business transaction. This is one way. However, the business area can also be derived from other account assignments such as cost centers. So cost centers we can assign. One thing, we can assign it in the business transaction. while posting the business transaction directly. Another way, we can directly assign to cost center. So whenever we select the cost center, automatically business area will be extracted. So to enable the systems to do this, you must define the business area in cost center master record. So in order to select the business area as per the cost center, first we need to assign this cost center to the business area. We need to assign the business area to the cost center. Okay, this cost center to be, when we are creating cost center, we are going to assign the business area. At that time, directly when we select the cost center, the amount will also be reflected in the business area. For more information, CSAP library, controlling organization structure. Okay, and if you enter cross company code account document, you can post the different business area across all company codes in one document. As a result, any number of combinations of company codes and business area are possible. So this is cross company code transactions. This is again comes under another module. So group reporting. So in FI we are not going to do this, so that is the reason I'm not making this explanation. But if you want to understand, just it's like in one document we can select different company codes and different business areas. So that's what it is telling. Like you see here, if you enter a cross company code document, you can post different business areas across all company codes in one document. That means you can post to different business areas across all company codes. That means different business areas, different company codes in one document. As a result, any number of combinations of company code and business areas are possible. So this is what they said about business area. Coming to the concept of the business area, let us start. I think we have already done the business area. So CCC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. As you can see, these are the locations we are using the business area based on the geographical locations. So that is the reason we have created different areas. Like in Bangalore, if we have only one branch, for example, say only one branch is there in Bangalore, we can create it as Bangalore. For example, in Bangalore, we have so many branches. There is no need for us to create Bangalore, because in Bangalore we have so many branches. So we need to create based on which area, the exact area. For example, in Bangalore we have 3 branches: Martali, Silk Board and KR-Puram. At that time we need to create 3 different branches: Martali, Silk Board and KR-Puram. For example, we have in Bangalore we only have one branch, so we need to create as Bangalore. So anyhow, if we select Bangalore, we'll know that only one branch is there and that is the branch. It can be anywhere in Bangalore again. It can be in Martali, Silk Board or KR-Puram. Let it be anything, but there is only one branch. So that is the reason we are going to create it as Bangalore. Okay. So what we're going to do is, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is how the business areas are created. And if we want to use Bangalore, we'll use Bangalore, or if we want to use this Martali, Silk Board or KR-Puram, we can use those. Okay, don't get confused here. If there is only one branch, create one Bangalore. If you have different branches in Bangalore, create those exact area names like Martali, Silk Board or KR-Puram, like that. So this is all about business area. And next is segment. So here we have defined segment. Execute this. Now we are going to create a segment. So what is segment? This is purely based on the reporting. That reports can be produced based on whatever the segment we create. We can create segment. For example, we want reports as per the departments whatever we have. For example, say she said like training, one department is there. We have one branch for training. In our company we also train some students. So we have in our company we also have another branch where we do real estate. So that is one more branch. So where we do real estate activities. In our company we also have some manufacturing activity. For example, we are manufacturing some machines, small machines which are used in mobiles or TVs. So that is another segment. So for these three types of businesses, we are going to create three types of segments. So based on this segment, if we select segment for training, we can see all the reports based on the training. Okay. For example, you see Tata Group is there. So Tata Group have different company codes, like Tata Motors, TCS, and Tata Steel. Okay, so three company codes are there. For these three company codes, Tata Motors is into which business? They sell cars. TCS, they do services. Tata Steel, they manufacture some raw material like steel products, iron products. So here, this Tata Motors, whatever the Tata Motors is there, they have some employees from freshers. Okay, here also every year some freshers will be joining in TCS, and in Tata Steel also some freshers in engineering or some in any department in the factory, they'll be joining some freshers. So for freshers, they need to give their training first, because they might know SAP, but they don't know the products, the things what they do. They know about the basics, but each and every business have their own general ledger account numbers, cost center names, separate codes will be there. So what are those codes? Which for which code which we need to, for which general ledger account we need to use everything. They need to give the training for any freshers. Let it be from Tata Motors, let it be from TCS, or let it be from Tata Steel. Everyone are freshers only. Everywhere we need to give the training. Right. Training is mandatory for any company, for any freshers, for any employees. For Tata Motors, they might give some kind of training like how to sell the goods, like how to sell the car to the customer. TCS might give how to use some like they provide services, no? So they might give some software training, how to use the software which is built in TCS. So Tata Steel, they might give some machine training like engineering training. Maybe the training terms are different, the different types of training is there, but three are, but if we see these three, these all comes under training only. Even though if it is Tata Motors or TCS or Tata Steel, for every company code we need to expense, we need to incur some expense for training for all, for every year whoever is joining, for the freshers. So this training, whatever the training is there, this training can be created as one segment. Okay, and we are going to assign this segment, the training, to each company code whenever they do training. Let it be any training, but it is training only, no? If we want to produce the reports as per training, for example, if we want, this Tata Group wants to see what is the cost for training for the entire year, for 1 year, for all the company codes. For all the company codes, this Tata Group want to see the training cost. Then what they'll do, they'll select this training segment and they'll produce the reports, and they can know, okay, for all the company codes, training cost for this year became like 15 crores. Like that, they can estimate. So this is called as group reporting. Okay, segment is used for group reporting. Understood segment? Okay, segments are used for segment reporting. If you define your profit centers, you can either Enter an associate segment in master segment, master record of a profit center. The segment is then derived from the assigned profit center during posting. So segment can be assigned to profit center, it is telling. So that if we do that profit center segment, if we assign the segment to the profit center, again it will automatically take the profit segment whenever we select the profit center. So this is for external reporting. This segment is used for external reporting, and accounting principles US GAAP and IFRS require companies to perform segment reporting. If we have different company codes, for example, say we have different companies in different countries, so we need to follow IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standards, because our company have its branches in different countries. Okay, so when we have different countries, we have the branches in different countries, we need to follow IFRS. When we follow IFRS, definitely we need to produce the reports as per segments, and you can define segment in your SAP system. For this purpose, you find appropriate activity in customizing. You can enter segment in the master record of a profit center. Okay, this is what it is telling us. We can assign this segment in the profit center when we create the profit center. The characteristics segment is only released in combination with characteristic profit center if no segment is specified manually during posting, only possible for transactions in financial accounting. The segment is derived from master records of the profit center. The profit center can also be assigned manually or derived. Okay, so it is telling if we don't assign any segment to the profit center, we can assign it manually while doing the postings. If you want to apply different rules to derive the segment during posting, you can define your own rules for this. So this is again an ABAP module. We are not going into this para. This is ABAP, that is into technical module. And the document splitting procedure, okay, that is not yet we discussed. So after we discuss, we will get this. The document splitting procedure is prerequisite for creating financial statements at any time for the segment dimension. So document splitting is a compulsory which we need to do before we use the segment. Okay, if we want to use the segment, document splitting is compulsory. We need to activate this document splitting. For this, you need to set up a zero balance setting. Okay, this and all I'll tell you. We need to create some zero balance clearing account, and US GAAP requires a virtually complete balance sheet at a segment level for segment reporting. So if we follow US GAAP in any company code, for example, we have one company which is in America, at that time that company code should use US GAAP only. So if they use US GAAP, if that company code uses US GAAP, we require virtually complete balance sheet at the segment level for segment reporting. So we need to definitely prepare a balance sheet at the segment level for segment reporting. So segment balance sheet as per the segment should be created when we follow US GAAP as per the American accounting standards. Essentially everything apart from stockholders equity. So whatever their US GAAP accounting principles will be there. So based on that, what should be the depreciation methods, what should be the equity, everything will be in that accounting principle of US GAAP. Because we are in India, we follow Indian accounting standards. So the segment is defined as a sub area of a company with activities that generate expenses and revenues with an operating result that is regularly used by management for profit assessment and resource allocation purposes, and for which separate financial data is available. So this is just like in segment we can record all the expenses as well as revenues, it is telling. That's it. IFRS almost has the same requirement for segment reporting. You can use segment dimension to represent the segment levels. If you want to represent segments in two dimensions, primary and secondary segmentation, you can use segment dimension for this primary segmentation. You can represent a secondary segmentation in your system. Okay, this is as per the regions, so no need to go into it as of now. So as of now, in this entire thing, what we have understood is the document splitting procedure. Okay, if you want to use segment, we need to activate the document splitting. So this is important point. And another thing, we can assign the segment in the document when we are posting, or also we can also assign the segment to the profit center. So these are the only 2 points which are interesting. So now we'll define some segment. So segment, as I have said you, like training, in the same way we are going to create some segment based on the products. So based on products also we can create the segments, for example furniture, electronics, and machines, or clothing, or like that, like based on products we can create the segments. Are you able to understand? So just click on IMG. What is the T code for segment, for defining the
No.
segment?
It has no T code.
It has no T code. Okay, correct. So click on execute, define segment, and click on new entries and give the segment. Normally I'm going to use, every time I'll use the furniture and electronics. So normally I'm going to use this two every time. So in the same way, now also I'll use electronics and the furniture. Or else if we want to use more, we can also use more, like clothing and leather, and for example say, tell me some more segments, like training. As I have said you, we can also take training, no? Okay, like this we can create the segments. So just give the names and the description and click on save. That's it. This is how we create the segments. Okay, so this is all about today's class.